Talk about the reason why Ryan Garcia is ducking Devin Haney to move down to 140 to fight Shakur Tupac Stevenson. Now, the reason is very simple, okay? Number one, Ryan Garcia can do whatever he wants to do, okay? Ryan Garcia is the A side. He's a bigger, more popular fighter than Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. The pay-per-view numbers that he did with Gervonta Tank Davis proves that. His millions of followers all across social media proves that. Remember, Ryan Garcia was already a social media superstar before he fought Gervonta Tank Davis. A lot of people forget that. A lot of people think because Tank is who he is today, that Tank is the reason why him and Ryan did so many pay-per-view buys. But nah, Ryan Garcia played a huge part in that. A lot of people really believe Ryan Garcia was going to win that fight. He has a hardcore fan base. When you think of the face of boxing, right? You got Canelo, you got Gervonta Tank Davis, and you got Ryan Garcia, right? For the casual boxing fans, you also got to include Jake Paul, even though he's not considered a real boxer, right? As far as bringing eyes to the sport, you got to say Jake Paul, unfortunately. Don't kill me for that, okay? Now, let's stay focused. So, going into this fight, right? A fan asked Devin Haney on Twitter, is he going to rematch Ryan if he beats Barrios? Devin Haney responded and said, that ship sailed when Ryan backed out of 365 WADA testing, okay? After Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly, he got out of the 365 WADA testing. So Devin Haney already said he didn't want the fight. Now, a lot of people didn't expect Ryan Garcia to beat Mario Barrios, even though he was a favorite on the betting odds going into the fight. I even thought Mario Barrios was going to beat Ryan. Ryan came in, won every single round against Mario Barrios, dropped him in the first round, and now Ryan Garcia is a champion at 147. Now, was Devin Haney at Ryan Garcia's fight? No. Guess who was at the fight? Shakur Tupac Stevenson. Number one, Shakur Stevenson was a guest announcer for that fight, for the whole card, not just the Ryan Barrios fight. He was announcing the fights for the entire card, okay? And he walked into the ring after Ryan Garcia won, and he faced off with Ryan, and they both agreed that they're going to fight each other next. So, you know, is the Devin Haney and Ryan fight bigger than the Ryan and Shakur Tupac Stevenson fight? Yes. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney failed to position himself for the rematch. He basically said he didn't want the fight. You didn't show up to Ryan's fight. Then, after the fight, you posted on Instagram and Twitter that you and Ryan rematching is the biggest fight in boxing, and then you deleted the post. You deleted the tweet on Twitter, and you deleted the post on Instagram. So, you know, it's looking like Devin Haney don't really want to rematch Ryan Garcia anyway. It's looking like you don't really want that smoke. Now, Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney, went on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Ness from the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Two-Tone the Superstar, right? Bill Haney went on the Boxing Voice and said Ryan Garcia is what they want next. But Bill, at what point in time are you going to allow your son to speak for himself, bro? I understand you're his manager, you're obviously his father, but how long are you going to continue to be the mouthpiece for Devin Haney? Why do we only see Devin Haney say that he wants to do things on social media? If Devin Haney really wanted to fight Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney should have went on the Boxing Voice and said that. Devin Haney needs to go to Aiden Ross and say that. Devin Haney needs to go visit Platt Boy Max and say that. Devin Haney needs to go to the Boxing Voice and speak for himself, bruh. You a grown-ass man, bruh. Devin Haney. Like, the only time we hear you say you want to fight is when you saying it on Twitter, bruh, or your fans is saying it for you, bruh. At some point, bruh, if you want to be looked at as the face of boxing, which you do have the potential to become, you got to start speaking for yourself, bruh. You a grown-ass man, bruh. You almost 30 years old, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You the youngest undisputed male boxer in the history of boxing, bruh. If you really wanted that Ryan Garcia fight, you should have went to the fight. You should have sat courtside. You should have did what Shakur did. And you should have walked into the ring and said that. But instead, you wasn't at the fight. You was on Twitter. You was on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You was at home watching the fight and you was talking about it on Twitter, bruh. So I don't think Devin Haney really wants to fight Ryan Garcia next. You know why? Because I think Devin Haney, number one, I think he thinks that Ryan Garcia is still on PEDs, right? Shakur and Devin Haney think that Ryan Garcia is back on PEDs or Ostarine, right? Devin Haney, after the first round where he dropped Barrios, Devin Haney went on Twitter and said, Ryan's back on the juice. Shakur Stevenson quoted the tweet and said, I said the same thing. So I think when it comes to Ryan Garcia, there's fear coming from Devin. Not necessarily because Devin Haney is scared of Ryan Garcia, but he's scared that Ryan Garcia is going to cheat again if they have the rematch. But at the end of the day, bruh, if that's what it is, bruh, stand on that, bruh. Because this is what I think is happening behind the scenes, guys. I don't think Devin Haney has any interest in ever fighting Ryan Garcia again. I think Bill Haney is the one that wants to make that rematch happen. Because I think in the back of Bill Haney's mind, he has nightmares about what Ryan Garcia did to his son. Devin Haney took a lot of damage in that fight against Ryan. He got his ass whooped. Got dropped 3 or 4 times in the fight. The fight really should have been stopped. We all seen how swollen Devin's face was after that fight. And then after the Jose Ramirez fight where Devin Haney was running for 12 rounds, barely threw any punches the entire fight, broke some records for the least amount of punches thrown in a fight, him and Canelo that weekend, right? We wasn't sure if Devin Haney was ever going to be the same fighter. But Devin Haney fought Brian Norman Jr., who's the #1 welterweight champion at 147 after Jerome Boots Ennis decided to move up to 154. And everybody thought Brian Norman Jr. was going to knock out Devin Haney. Remember, even on the betting odds, Brian Norman Jr. was the he was the favorite to win that fight. Everybody thought Devin was gonna get knocked out. Everybody thought Devin was damaged goods. Devin Haney goes in there, drops Brian Norman Jr., hits him with a monstrous left hook, follows up with a 1-2, drops him with the right hand. I think it was in the 2nd or 3rd round, and he beat Brian Norman Jr. by unanimous decision. So Bill Haney is looking at it like this. Okay, we seen Ryan lose to Rolly Garcia, right? Ryan just beat Mario Barrios, but Mario Barrios is arguably the worst welterweight champion in the history of boxing. Right? Mario Barrios, before he fought Ryan, was coming off of 2 straight draws. Couldn't beat a 50-year-old Manny Pacquiao. Okay, so Bill Haney is looking at Ryan Garcia like food. Devin Haney is looking at Ryan Garcia like, I think this dude is cheating, man. I think this dude is back on that Ostarine. If he's not on Ostarine, he's on something else. Because we got to be honest, Ryan Garcia looked very strong in this fight against Barrios. We seen the muscles, bro. Ryan Garcia looked very similar to how he looked when he fought Devin Haney against Mario Barrios. Let's be honest. Now, am I saying that Ryan is back on the juice? No. But I see why Devin and Shakur would think that Ryan is back on the juice. So that's why Ryan Garcia is not fighting Devin Haney next. Because Ryan Garcia, he knows Devin don't want that smoke. And guess what? Whether Ryan loses or wins against Shakur Stevenson, guess what? Ryan Garcia is still going to be champion at 147. That Devin Haney fight ain't going nowhere. He could lose to Shakur. He could get his ass whooped by Shakur. And then he could come back and fight Devin at 147. And he could possibly beat Devin. Because cheating or not, in his mind, and in the casual boxing fans' mind, even some hardcores, everybody, you know, Ostarine or not, everybody looks at it like Ryan already beat the crap out of Devin. Why wouldn't he do it again? He might beat him worse the second time. That's how everybody's looking at it, bruh. The Zone is still playing highlights of Ryan Garcia cooking Devin. You know, Ryan is collaborating with all of the popular streamers. They're talking about Ryan Garcia beating up Devin. So that Devin Haney fight, it ain't going nowhere, bruh. It's not going nowhere unless Devin Haney decides to drop his belt and Devin Haney ends up moving up to 154, which I just don't think is going to happen, bruh. There's too many sharks at 154. I think Devin Haney's next fight is going to be against Xander Zayas. But come on, guys. Xander Zayas, even though he's a unified champion, Xander Zayas is only 21 years old. He barely won his most recent fight against a boss. He won that fight by split decision. Okay. I think Devin Haney beat Xander Zayas. But do we honestly think that Devin Haney is going to fight Sebastian Fundora or Virgil Ortiz or Jaron Boots Ennis or Bakram? Do we honestly think Devin Haney is going to take those fights when he's still champion at 147? Do we honestly think that? No. Him fighting Xander is probably going to be a one-fight thing, and then he's coming back down to 147. So we still going to get that rematch, y'all. Unless Devin Haney just, decides he wants nothing else to do with Ryan, we going to get that rematch, y'all. Ryan versus Shakur next, I have no problem with it. But, Ryan and Devin rematch is the bigger fight. But at the end of the day, bro, Ryan Garcia is a grown-ass man. Ryan Garcia is one of the faces of boxing. He's the one with the big fan base. He's the one that got the big pay-per-view numbers on his boxing record. He can do whatever he wants to do, bro. Guess what? After Ryan fights Shakur, guess what, guys? If Ryan wants to fight Conor Benn at 147, he can do that. If Ryan wants to rematch Rolly Romero at 147 after that, he can do that. Ryan Garcia don't got to rematch Devin Haney because guess what? Everybody already thinks he beat the crap out of Devin Haney. Devin Haney is the one in the boxing public's eye that has to get that rematch and redeem himself for Ryan. Ryan not losing no sleep because he got caught doing the Ostarine, bro. That video, guys, that footage of Ryan beating the shit out of Devin, bro, that's going to be on the internet forever, bro. Unless Devin Haney files a lawsuit and forces the zone to take that video down, bro, that video is going to be around for eternity, bro. So there's no pressure for Ryan to rematch Devin. There's no pressure at all, man. So with that being said, it's your boy Wavy, StayWavyTV. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video. Click that hype button for your boy. And let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.